This exciting program is fresh from Oxygen and in part by JVC. JVC rules.
Hey, Planet X, it's Joe Explorer.
And I'm Nikki.
And we're coming to you from Tahiti.
Are you afraid of sharks? Well, when's the last time you fed sharks by hand, without a cage, in Tahiti?
This is Planet X. Planet X, where pop culture explodes.
I'm Joe Explorer, special correspondent for Planet X, and do not tune in today if you are afraid of sharks, because we are going to be hand feeding sharks and stingrays in Tahiti. Our shark encounter lasted about an hour, and then after this brief excursion through a tropical shower, we came across a sandbar. It was just chock full of these amazing looking creatures. Stingrays, just like sharks, which are actually close relatives, have skeletons made of cartilage. And they're very soft, like velvet, but at the same time, it's really strong.
Yeah, they're really smooth.
Watching them cruise around is just incredible. Their motions are so fluid in the water. Once the fish came out, they were so friendly, but at the same time, I was still a little intimidated by the size of their stingers.
Yeah, it's right there. I think it's between my legs.
The rays were really friendly and tame, and the locals do this thing where they kiss them. So I said, heck, I'll give it a shot. Well, apparently this one's already been spoken for.
Today we're aboard the Fettia Yura.
Which means Red Star.
We're aboard a 110-foot three-sail schooner with full teak decking. There's only 2 of these in the world. We set course from Apanoho Bay around Mount Ratui to Cook's Bay. While Nikki works on her suntan, I'll put to work pulling the ropes, raising the mast. I'm becoming part of the ship, part of the ocean. Our voyage around Matui's twin bays fills me with the exhilaration Captain Cook must have felt over 200 years ago.
The thing that makes me nervous a little bit about sailing is it always feels like they're all freaking out. Like they're doing this and they're pulling this and almost like they're looking at each other like, oh, and then I look up at the sail and I think something like one of the strings broke or something. And then it tips just a little too far. With all my sailing experience, we call them big heavy springs.
Work it, work it.
Almost got it. Almost got it. Oh, yeah. Pull, gentlemen, pull. Pull, gentlemen.
Good.
I did some exploration downstairs. I found pillows, windows, some guava juice, and Ritz crackers.
A little confessional from
Oh, imagine when Captain Cook came, so I'm in love with the country. I arrived here 20 years ago. Originally I'm a sailor. I've been captain on such yachts in the past. So, and one of my goals was to try to communicate my passion to passengers, to all tourists coming in here. We call this tour, we call this nautical activity, this cruise, we call In the Wake of Captain Cook.
Look at this Polynesian man with the long hair and the body and the tattoos.
Tattoo means, if not the first, we call tatau. Tatau in Polynesian language. Tau is means mark. Tau is mean generation.
Tahiti seems to have control over the ocean. The island stands stoic, inviting waves to the shore, looking down on an old foe defeated ages ago.
But living it is so different. Like, you can't really, we can capture this on film, but we can't really, no one, like you were saying yesterday, nobody can really understand what this is like unless they're actually doing it. You can see it, looks beautiful, but you're here and there's like a feeling on the island. I've not felt anything like this. It's just no stress and everybody's relaxed. Island time is a little frustrating, but actually island time is my time.
Stay tuned, because today we are going to be digging right through the interior of Tahiti's valleys, looking for waterfalls, secret trails, and diving into them.
Today we're taking out 2 world champion Range Rover Defender 90s.
Welcome to today's show. We're going to be taking a Jeep tour in the interior of the island.
Yes, we are traveling 17 kilometers today from Papeete through the Valley of Pepino.
That 17 kilometers is about what, 9 or 10 miles?
9 or 10 miles.
If you think we should go all the way through to the end, we'll do that.
For the one who want to dive here with diving stuff, this is enough deep.
Okay.
So you have a lake here, which is usually called the Blue Lake, which can be around 8 to 10 meters deep. So if you want to dive there, we must go this way.
Okay.
And we're stopped at what you'll see all over the island are these roadside markets. They're about as frequent as a 7-Eleven in any major area in the United States. But the one thing you can do here that you can't do at 7-Eleven is pick up a slushie and have your kids take a swim. What is this called? Leche? This is the leche. Is this something you eat? All right, I've seen people eat these and I think you crack them open. I'm not sure though. Ah, yes. Again, tastes like chicken.
No. I think it's up here. We're going like that because he said there are like waterfalls up here.
Tahiti receives over 3,000 hours of sunlight each year, but as the green velvet hills prove, there is also much rain. With over 400 square miles of land, Tahiti is the largest of the Society Islands, and it takes us all day to traverse its broad back. Everyone should have one of these days in their memory. We cruise through valleys, over the shoulders of these 7,000-foot peaks. Then we stop along the way to play in swimming holes and explore all these really cool, strange grottos. The brief rain squalls are a blessing more than a nuisance. I just feel like a kid at Disneyland trying to tramp through attractions. It's just impossible to be in a bad mood.
Going to the waterfalls of Tefa'a Urumai. Tefa'a means the valley, and Urumai means healing the sick.
Who did you have fun, Joe?
I had a blast. Any body of water I'm jiggy with.
We stop for a drink at the base of the mountain, ride, talk to Tahitians, play the ukulele, breathe deep. Stay tuned, because today we are going to be swimming with dolphins, we are going to be feeding dolphins, we are going to be playing with dolphins, and we're going to talk to dolphins in Tahiti.
Make reality of imagination. To make reality of
so that
imagination.
people have time to think.
This is it. I would like, for one last time, to get a shot of my arms. All 10 fingers.
Come on, guys.
Legs.
We're feeding them.
No fingers. How do you say, I risk my life for this job. Here I go.
I immediately jet off for underwater creatures. The second we got underwater and I saw these sharks feeding on this fish, I realized that I am so glad to be on the higher end of the food chain. The rules stated by the guides say that we're supposed to stay on one side of the rope and the sharks are supposed to stay on the other side of the rope. Supposedly the sharks think that it's some kind of a net or a trap. Well, apparently this guy didn't listen to the rules.
I thought I was in a movie. I mean, every time I scuba dived, I always feel like I'm in a movie, and I never feel like anything's really gonna bite or hurt me.
It came pretty close though. One time it came about this close to me, and then it became very real. And they have like these really, really, really big dead fish that they're feeding them. It's all bloody and gross, and all the sharks are coming up.
It's amazing. There were a black-tipped shark. I probably saw at any one given time 9, 10 in the same area. A bunch of other fish. You know, carnage. What can I say? They're beautiful creatures.
True. It really isn't anything to be afraid of. But I'm hungry, so we're gonna eat. Manuya.
This is Planet X. Planet X. Reality of imagination. To make reality of
so that
imagination.
people have time to think.
Hey, Planet X, this is Joe Explorer.
And I'm Nikki.
And we're at Dolphin Quest at the island of Moorea.
Come on, we're gonna swim with dolphins. Let's go.
Dolphin Quest was created in 1984 by two renowned marine veterinarians who envisioned a place where the dream of a close personal encounter with one of the ocean's most amazing and intelligent creatures could become a reality.
We have 3 of the facilities as far as dolphins. We have 2 in Hawaii and 1 in Bermuda, where we do similar program, anti-archery program. And there are a few other places in the world where they do swim with the dolphins program or a little similar, but each of them are really different.
How do we feed an animal? It's very easy. Take the fish like this between 2 fingers and straight in the water, okay? I see that we have Guy in this team, okay? Don't put too close to the shore, okay? It's better, I'm straight in the water. It's better for you. Dolphins are very, very curious about everything.
Now, we're gonna say hi to Mr. Lokai. He's coming from Hawaii, so he knows decent sign. Everybody go like this, say, aloha, Lokai! Hello! Right on.
And we're talking with Tahina, the head trainer.
Right, hi guys.
The dolphins themselves, what is it that most people don't know about dolphins?
All right, so, well, actually, dolphins are not fishes, of course. Those guys are mostly mammals. And to be part of mammals, they're gonna share with us 5 things in common, 5 characteristics. First of all, we know that are mammals, and when you touch a dolphin, it seems like real smooth and mostly warm. So remember, dolphins are warm-blooded too. They give live birth, they nurse their young, and they also breathe air. But the main thing, very important too, is to know that dolphins communicating together by using what we call the famous echolocation system. It's called the sonar.
And when they need to see something very close, they use their echolocation system, meaning they send an echo that is coming back to the lodge.
And how do they interpret that? They have an image and then they have a sound and they interpret.
It's exactly the same as what we call ultrasound that we do for pregnant women.
Right.
It's a sound that gives you back an image.
So if a dolphin sees a fish over here and a pastrami sandwich here, would it know it's a pastrami sandwich? Even though it's a sonar?
Exactly.
And the size and the shape and everything?
Everything.
Those guys can communicate between dolphins a few miles away from each other. Actually using their lower jaw, it comes out of the brain and come out of the blowhole. And they can see the distance between almost the predators, the food, like the fish, and also an object. Okay, here we go. He's coming back with the fish. All right, keep your hands full of water. 1, 2, and 3, splash, go! Go! Woo!
I used to fly in these pits, airplanes, these little acrobatic prop planes, and just the spirals and the moves.
watching it, and it was so graceful with physics. The way it just slid through the water, and it was like watching flight.
As you can see, trainers and dolphins are communicating only by body language. But those guys don't understand any language actually. You can speak to them any language you want, they would not understand. But also they can pick up the tone of my voice so they can see if I get energy or not.
And they feel the energy of everyone else. Like when
That's
we were
right.
there, they could tell that
That's
we were
what
having
we
fun.
like. Yeah. Cool.
It was wonderful.
Dolphin Quest was definitely the first and only time I've seen dolphins presented as beautiful, intelligent, valued creatures rather than where I've usually seen them presented as amusement or entertainment. It was an amazing day. This is Joe Explorer, your special correspondent for Planet X, signing off from Dolphin Quest in the island of Moorea.
This is Planet X. Planet X.
Reality of imagination. To make reality of
So that
imagination.
people have time to think.
After the amazing experience we had at Dolphin Quest, our instructor, Tahina, offered to take us out to this little-known attraction off the coast of Moorea, an underwater tiki village. Pretty cool. After a short boat ride through this narrow channel, we arrived at the destination. Well, so we thought. No one really knows exactly the place where they lie, so we had to spend some time investigating the area. And finally, we found them. Tikis are pretty interesting outside of the water, but to see them in 15 feet of water, that's an entirely different story. Of course, we thought initially these tikis had been built some million years ago and the tide had just slowly taken them up. And then we came to find out that some local had built them 15 years ago and dropped them off his boat. Tikis in the Polynesian culture are protectors, and we had heard story after story of tragedies and things that had happened at sea where these tikis were placed. We never really did get the straight story, but it made for some great diving.
And it was amazing. This is called Paua right here, Paua. And we had a gorgeous islander take us down to the bottom of the sea and actually get one of our own. And you can open it actually right now and eat from it, which is what we were doing.
Paua! Paua from the Tahitian Ocean! Ah!
And again, tastes like chicken.
During the middle of the day, we came across this amazing little village called Teapu. The locals there were so welcoming. And we weren't sure how us tourists are going to be treated, but as you can see, we made friends pretty quick.
We're here at Teapu at the southwest corner of Tahiti, where they had the Gotcha Pro 2000, won by Kelly Slater this year. This happened a couple days ago. You get 20-foot faces out here at the highest. Last year during the comp, that rig out there for the camera crew and the judges got knocked over.
After our trip out to watch surf, we headed home, but before we got to our car, we were asked to watch a local Tahitian dance contest. Little did we know, this dance contest turned out to be one of the highlights of the trip. I just couldn't help myself. I had to join in. This is Joe Explorer, your special correspondent from Planet X, signing off from Tahiti.
Planet X is powered by AtoExtreme.com, your site for extreme sports products, Ato Extreme, and by Line-X Spray-On Truck Bed Liners, Extreme Protection, Line-X. And by Sony, the official camcorder supplier to Planet X Television, only Sony.
Thanks for joining me, Joe Explorer, here on Planet X. Hey, we'll see you next time.